now, Bear?
Make pancakes.
We should make some pancakes for breakfast?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's get the stuff. Do you like the pancake you made? This is what happens when a mom tries to go pee by herself. You can hear Eli screaming downstairs saying, "Mama, mama, mama." And then the 2-year-old is downstairs yelling at me to get him his water bottle. So this is why it's hard to close the doors. Their little fingers just creep back under there. And then they yell at you and they want everything from water to blankies to having their noses wiped. I sit here making the bed and putting away laundry. We've had quilts on our bed for a long time, but we also live in Canada where it's super duper cold. So having a quilt that's actually pretty thin doesn't work out very well. And we do have blankets that we put underneath the quilt, but they end up, the more blankets you pile on, the heavier it gets, and the more they kind of slide around and they don't stick together. So one person ends up with the quilt and one person ends up with the blanket, and we end up just with a mess of a bed. So I need to find a comforter. I've realized that we need to have comforters on our bed instead of quilts. So I have to replace all the quilts that we have currently on the 6 beds that we have, I guess. So I will be having to look for those. So if anybody has any ideas on where to buy comforters instead of quilts. And I was looking at duvets, but again, the duvets that I found, what happens is you put your blanket in the duvet or your duvet in the duvet cover, whatever, and it ends up sliding down to the bottom, and the top of the duvet is kind of, or the duvet cover is empty, so it doesn't actually like stay in there. So I'm not really sure I want a duvet. I think a comforter would probably be better. So again, if you guys have any idea on where to look for a comforter that would work, please let me know. Do you need help with, Bear?
With a seatbelt.
With your seatbelt? Is it because we're going for a drive, so you have to put on your seatbelt? Is that where you sit?
Then I'd be safe.
You think that's going to be safe? I think that you need to go sit in your chair. Can you go sit in your chair?
No, I want to sit with you.
I know you do, but you are not quite big enough to sit right there. How old are you?
6.
You're not 6.
Yes, I am.
Are you angry?
I told you.
You told me? How old are you? Are you having a hard time?
I stepping myself up.
Good job, Abby. Can we put you in your chair so we can go to the post office?
Why can't I set myself up with
And then you can go get the mail with Cali?
Mom, why can't I set myself
Bounties.
Oh, I'll go the other way. He won't get off my arm. Hey, get off me.
This is our spare room, which is actually kind of ironic because it was all brought down from the attic so that I could sort it out. However, I now have to bring it back up to the attic so that I can actually sort it out. So my job today is just to take all this out of here and bring it upstairs into our creepy old attic. And then I can hopefully sort it out more and we can use this room for something other than a junk room. It's funny though, because I actually read through the Marie book on cleaning and decluttering, and she says to just take everything out and dig through it and blah blah blah. And it's a really good book, but there's some points that are just not quite right with me. Like if you're not sure if you need something, if you actually need it right now, then you can just get rid of it, and if you do need it in the future, you can just buy it again. And that doesn't sit right with me because there's lots of things that I would have gotten rid of that I really need. When you have kids, you just can't do something like that, especially when you have, you know, a wide range of ages. And if I had actually followed that, I would have gotten rid of my husband a long time ago. Quick cooking tip is that you can actually boil chicken and shred it in your mixer or just on your cutting board and then freeze it. You can also fry up hamburger and freeze it for quick meals, and you can also cut up onions and peppers, and that way you can quickly fry them up as well. So we spent all day yesterday cleaning up Kelly's room, bringing everything upstairs, vacuuming it, sweeping it, and bringing her desk in. There's still some stuff that needs to be put away, obviously. Stuff up there needs to be put away, and stuff on the dresser needs to be put away, but for the most part, it's pretty clean and pretty close to being done. And she's pretty grateful to be able to have her own room, although when we moved here, they all decided that they wanted to share a room. So that's kind of why we put them all in here and have the bunk beds with the trundle. And I also realized that if I'm recording with my phone, I need to record with it on kind of landscape sideways. Otherwise, the video comes out just half of the screen, tall, weird. So sorry about that. And I also, for some reason, want to start every video with "so okay," and that's not that great. I'm trying to avoid doing that. Hi, Eli. Who's that handsome fella? Who's that handsome fella?